Lit and React. Lit and React are two popular libraries for building web components and web applications. While both have their strengths and weaknesses, there are some key differences between them that may make one more suitable for your project than the other. One major difference between Lit and React is their underlying technology. Lit is built on top of web components, which is a set of web standards that allows developers to define their own HTML elements. So it's actually web components. It's closer to web components. In contrast, React is built on top of JavaScript and utilizes a virtual DOM to efficiently update the UI. Lit's use of web components means that it is highly interoperable with other libraries and frameworks that use the same standards. As we said, Lit will be more compatible with web components and work out of the box. And this will make Lit easier to integrate with other parts of the applications or to use web components created by others. Additionally, because Lit is built on web standards, it is likely to remain stable and compatible with future versions of web technologies. React's use of the virtual DOM and its focus on JavaScript make it very performant and efficient. The virtual DOM allows React to update the UI quickly and only update the parts of the page that have changed, resulting in a smoother user experience. React's focus on JavaScript also means that it has a large and active community of developers, which can make it easier to find resources and get help with any issues. Another key difference between Lit and React is their approach to templates. Lit uses a syntax called template literals that allows you to define HTML directly in your JavaScript code. This can make it easier to create and manage components, and can also make it easier to share code between components. React, on the other hand, uses JS6 syntax that allows you to define your HTML in a separate file, which some developers find easier to work with. In terms of size, Lit is generally smaller than React, which can make it easier to use in smaller projects, or to include in larger projects without significantly increasing the overall size of the application. Both Lit and React have strong communities and active development, so we are likely to find good resources and support for either library. Ultimately, the choice between Lit and React will depend on our specific project needs and requirements. If we need high performance and efficient updates, or if we are already using a JavaScript heavy application, then React may be the better choice. If what we mainly need and are concerned with is interoperability with other web standards and technologies, then we may prefer the simpler syntax of defining our HTML, and in this case, Lit may be the better choice. So Lit is comparable to React in many ways. And we can use Lit, of course, to build websites, web apps, UIs. Lit will even do some things that React can do. For example, Lit uses TypeScript out of the box. It's not required, but it's encouraged. Also in React we can use TypeScript, but we need to invest sometimes in enabling it. Lit components are class-based, and they encapsulate state and behavior just like React components. And both Lit and React are component-based. And we can create more complex UIs by composing our components together. When the components state change, then the UI will reflect this exact state. Because of the emphasis toward leaning and the browsers that already offer us components, then Lit is a really tiny library. It's about 5 kilobytes only when minified and compressed. So if we are worried about page load and interested in browser feature, then Lit might be the better choice. Lit is also closer to the browser. A lot of heavy lifting is done in Lit by the native browser API instead of by additional framework boilerplate that would also be downloaded. But they are both component based, as we said. Lit components are class based. So if class syntax is not our thing, then it's less the thing that we want. But Lit uses TypeScript out of the box, as we said. Web components in general we didn't describe are a set of native browser APIs that let us create our own HTML elements, and those elements can do whatever we want them to do. Lit is a library that wraps around the web components and make them easier to work with instead of setting up web components using the native API directly. So this was a brief comparison between the Lit framework for building both web components and websites and React.